What's going on, y'all? It's Harley from Pacific North Whoop. Today, we've got the new Beta FPV Meteor75 Pro. However, we've got a little problem. I've already broken this drone. Yeah, I've had this for less than a week. That's pretty crazy. So here's what happened. I was flying this drone around and I got the camera canopy separated from the actual drone in a sort of light crash. Here's the footage. So as I was flying this drone around, I happened to hit that wire and smack into the fence. Well, typically when this happens, it's no big deal, and I just turtle mode it out. However, this time, the screen went completely black. So let's talk about why that happened, how we can fix it, and make sure it's not going to happen to you. One of the big problems with the Meteor75 Pro O4 is actually in the canopy. You've probably seen people talking about the jello issues. However, this issue you may not have seen. Being that the canopy itself is taller than the traditional Meteor 75 and 65 canopy, this means that the center of gravity is higher than your typical camera CO3. What this does is it shifts the camera in crashes further on the actual frame. And being that it shifts the camera further, you may run into the issue that I have here. If you can see, all of the motor posts are actually disconnected and still lodged inside of the little gummies. The screws are still connected and every single one of them is off the frame. So let's go ahead, let's pull the motor wires off, take a look at the frame, and see how we can fix it. So we're going to start by just removing the wires for the motors and kind of getting an idea of where we're going to do some modifications to the frame. I kind of had the idea of maybe using a little bit longer screws, such as these screws right here, and nylon nuts, and maybe drilling the frame all the way out. As you can see, all of the motor posts are completely sheared off. With this camera having a higher center of gravity, in a crash, the camera can shift further one way or another and actually shear the entire top off, as what happened here. With the original canopy, it is a much more low profile and does not have this board, which keeps it all the way attached down to the frame. The gummies on the system are between the camera board as well as the board for the flight controller. So as we can see, the flight controller and the actual O4 themselves are completely fine. Whew, thank God. Now, what are we going to do from here? I think I'm going to start by drilling these out to accommodate for these screws. However, if that doesn't quite work, I've got a backup plan. Right here, I've got a Meteor75 Pro frame, so I could easily slap the flight controller and the O4 right into this and be able to cruise kind of gorilla whoop style. However, I've kind of been liking the 75 Pro more I fly it. So another option, always keep a backup. We always have a spare frame pretty much for every size drone that I own. The reason I always have a spare is in case of an instance like this or in case of a break. Thankfully, having a spare, I can easily swap them out and deal with this later, or I can decide to put the screws in. So with all these different options, I'm going to toy around and kind of play with which one I want to do, but you should put in the comments which one you would do. Would you put it on a 65 Pro? Would you fix this with the original screws? Or would you just say, screw it, it's only $8 for a new frame, let's just put that on. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Till next time, we're going to get this fixed and I'm going to get flying. Catch y'all later.